be able to beat him. I said, Ron, we'll do a couple of rallies. We did 3 rallies. They were massive. I said, Ron, you're going to win. I don't think so. He ends up winning. Then 3 years later, they say, will you run against the president? Will you run against the president? He says, I have no comment. I said, that means he's running. This son of a bitch is running against me. I got him elected. He's running. So I tell that story, even though all of my wonderful geniuses that we do have a good campaign going, I have to say, but my wonderful geniuses, my consultants and people that you have, they say, sir, people don't care about loyalty in this business. I say, I think they do. See, I think they do. I think a story like that means something to people, but they say I'm wrong. But so far the polls have proven, because he has taken a dive like few people have seen before. You know, it's funny, all of his big donors, he had a lot of big donors, and they were all maybe sort of, they don't love me because I'm very much anti-business with China. You know what? I'm a person that puts America first. These people want to put the globe first, right? So they don't love it. But I read stories where, you know, these big rich guys, they're all guys that I know very well, and they're sort of leaning toward him, and they're going with him, and, you know, this is like 6 months ago. They're going to go with him. I think they're going to go with him because he's a globalist, basically, right? He's a Paul Ryan disciple. Anybody a Paul Ryan disciple, you don't want him, believe me. Guy's a loser. But look, he had to leave because he couldn't have won. He was out. But remember this, when the people, they're all with him. They're all set. They're going with him. We're going with the sanctimonious. And then last week I started getting phone calls 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. Hi, President. I just called to say hello. What are the big donors? Oh, I thought you were with DeSantis. No, weren't you with DeSanctus? Sometimes referred to as DeSanctimonious. Never referred to as DeSantis. Never. Of course, he did change his name in the middle of the campaign. You know that, right? Are we having fun? What the hell? Right? It's a Saturday afternoon. We have nothing to do. We got these great congressmen that we got to make sure they're in good shape, and they will be. They actually don't need any of my help. They're here because they love me and I love them. They don't need my help, these guys. But, you know, so they call up these rich guys. They call. I'm richer than they are. But they call up and they say, and I'll put as much money into the campaign as I need. Believe me, if we need to do it, we need to do it. But you know, the money that comes in is the small money. It comes in for us. No Republicans ever had that. Millions of dollars of small money. We're $31. I think it's a $31 to $61 average. And that means people love us. And by the way, those people vote. The rich guys are in the south of France on their yacht. They don't vote, you know. They just give money for obvious reasons. But now I'm getting calls from guys that I read about from 6 months ago. I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. But they were going with him. We're going with you. We think we do, you know, change. They want to change. No, we want to go back to what we had for 4 years. We had something that was so special. One of these guys, Coke. You ever hear of Coke? So Coke, he says, a couple of months ago, said, I had the best 4 years I've ever had during the Trump administration. Yeah, I believe I'll be supporting DeSantis. I said, what the hell is that all about? The guy admits, maybe that's called inheritance. The guy admits he's had the best 4 years he's ever had. He's got his support. But so now they're all calling me, and they go like this. Ring, ring, so-and-so's on the phone. Oh, hello. President, I was just calling to say hello. I said, you mean you're just calling to say that you've been looking at the recent poll numbers? That's real. They're not stupid. They see what's happening. So he's lost all of it. I think he's lost every high roller. And they say, what's his problem? I said, he's got no personality. I could have told you that a long time ago. A politician needs a little personality, but I think he's over. And, you know, we just got some polls. We're going to go over the polls in a couple of seconds. Remember when I used to do the polls? Remember? But I only did them when we were doing well. When we were doing poorly, I never talked about polls. I said, what polls? But for the most part, we were always doing pretty well. But I only did. But we have one where Ramaswamy is now leading him in Ohio. Ramaswamy. You know why he's leading them? Because he says Trump's been a great president. I like guys that I'm running against that say I've been a great president. Vote Ramaswamy. So it's been an incredible time, but all of these high rollers are now calling me, sir, I'd love to have dinner with you. I said, you didn't want to have dinner 6-7 months ago so much, right? But you know you're doing well when all of those guys are calling, and they're not giving him very much. I don't think they're giving him anything. They're giving him a lot of nice talk. Hey, Ron, keep working. You're doing wonderfully. No, last night he had a very bad reception, very, very bad, in a state called Iowa. Very important. First in the nation. We kept it there. I kept it there. You know, I got the farmers, Pennsylvania, Iowa, all over. $28 billion from China. I got the farmers $28 billion. And I made a very bold statement. I said, let me tell you, first of all, I think we're leading in Iowa by 39 points. That's a lot. But I said, before I saw any poll, I said, there's no way I lose Iowa, Nebraska, Pennsylvania's big farm stuff. There's no way I lose any of these states because I got them $28 billion from China. And many of you, if you're a farmer, you can raise your hand because I know you opened up big checks. Who else is going to get you $28 billion? I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. No other president took in 10 cents, nothing. But I got, out of the hundreds of billions of dollars, I went to the Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue. I said, Sonny, let me ask you a question. How much hurt did China put on our great farmers? Comes back 3 days later, sir, it's about $28 billion over a 3-year period. I said, that's okay. We're going to give $28 billion to our farmers. Who the hell else is going to do that? And then you think I'm going to lose? So I said to the fake news back there, I say, I got the farmers $28 billion. Do you think they're going to vote against me? I don't think so. I don't think so. When this battle is over, I'll be back in the White House, and the Bidens will have to justify all of the corruption that they've done. They're going to have to do it. They're doing everything they can to ruin this election, just like they ruined the last. And look at what happened to our country. Look at what happened to our country. They tried to do damage right from the day I came down that escalator. They did damage before your very eyes. Joe Biden is hard to believe this, because I almost don't believe it's him. I'm telling you. I think it's people that surround him. I don't know. Does he know what the hell is going on? But they're weaponizing. He's weaponizing the people that are around him. He's got people, Lisa Monaco, people in the Justice Department, Meritless Garland. You got people around him, they're not stupid people. They're smart people. They're vicious people. They're Marxists. They're communists. And they're doing things. You know what they do? It's like the old story. Sign here, sir. What am I signing? Sir, it's wonderful for our name. Oh, it's okay. Then it turns out to be like we will defund the police. Sign right here, sir. This is a great thing. You're going to love it. What does it say? Oh, it has to do with our police department. Oh, that sounds so exciting. Let me sign. Then 2 days later, Biden signs bill to defund the police, you know? Now, to cover up his crimes, they target his political enemies. You see all this stuff coming out about Hunter, and then they hit us with another thing yesterday because they want to take away the news cycle. These are vicious, bad people. As you know, Biden has ordered his top political opponent to be arrested. I got to be arrested. They want to arrest me. That's only because we're winning. You know, think of it. He wants me arrested. They never taught me that at the Wharton School of Finance, right in Philadelphia. We didn't have a course on arrest. We didn't have a course on indictment. We had courses on other things, positive things. But right here in Philadelphia, great old Philadelphia, I love the city. What, has that city gone to hell or what? Man. I used to, when I was going to school there, we could walk down the streets. People would go that have the subs, right? The subs. that have all sorts of things. It was great. Now it's so dangerous you can't walk outside to buy a loaf of bread. It's horrible. It's horrible what's happened. But we have to pay great homage to our police, what they put up with. They put up with more than I put up with. But now the Biden administration is trying to make it illegal to even question the results or the outcome of an election. If you question the rigged election, you're a conspiracy theorist. They don't want to talk about it because they cheated like nobody's ever cheated. But only a party that cheats in elections would try to make it illegal to question them. They don't want them questioned. You look at Georgia, look at all of the things. In fact, I think on Monday or Tuesday they're having a meeting, a very big group, very smart group. They're having a meeting to show that they found a lot of election fraud. If you can't challenge a rigged election, then you don't have free speech. And if you don't have free speech, you don't have a democracy anymore. You have tyranny. You have tyranny. And we've got to get smart and we've got to get tough. We need free and fair elections and we need borders. We need those two things. Just like when they used to say, you know, we built 500 miles of wall. When they used to say about walls, the Democrats, oh, we don't need walls. We'll do it with computers flying in the air, right? Said, no, two things you need always for the next 1,000 years and for the past 5,000 years. Wheels and walls. A wheel and a wall. Every computer changes. Everything's different. You know, you develop a new brand of computer. Within about 2 months, it's obsolete. But a wheel doesn't change and a wall doesn't change. They're two things that work. And it's the same thing with our democracy. We need fair elections. We need borders. We have to stop the invasion of people into our country. And you know who's coming in? Prisoners, people from mental institutions, terrorists are coming into our country. And millions and millions and millions of people. So why didn't the corrupt Marxist prosecutors bring these radical and unjustified charges against me 2.5 years ago? They had 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Nobody even knew they were looking at it. I don't think they were. But they waited 2.5, almost 3 years, so that they could bring them right in the middle of my presidential election, because it's election interference. These are crooked people. Now, this deranged lunatic named Jack Smith, who's been overturned unanimously by the Supreme Court. He's tried to destroy many lives. You ever see the picture of the guy? It's like central casting. Deranged Jack Smith and the DOJ will probably bring another case along with the DA. We have a racist DA in crime-ridden Atlanta. Atlanta, I loved Atlanta. I loved Atlanta, like Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. But it's the worst per capita crime city in the whole country. And worse than Chicago. Can you believe what's happened in Chicago? They're all bad, run by Democrats, all bad. Every one of them is horrible. But I love Atlanta, so they have a DA there that doesn't do anything about crime. All she does is focus, let's get Trump, we got to get him. He made a phone call. It was so perfect. It was so good. This was better than the perfect call I made to Ukraine. He made a phone call. So they've been working on that. But why didn't they bring this 2.5 years ago? Why didn't they bring deranged Jack Smith, January 6th? Why didn't they bring that 2.5 years ago? Said perfect things, peacefully and patriotically. Did you ever hear Maxine Waters and Schumer and these other people talking in their speeches? We will get you, Kavanaugh. We will get you. We will hit you like you've never been hit before, right? You know? That's okay. But if you say peacefully and patriotically, like in my speech, these people are sick, and they are really, they're deranged. And this guy's the most deranged of all. They brought him in. They brought him in because let's get the toughest, most deranged human being that we can find and put him in charge of Trump, because they want to take away our election. We're leading Biden by a lot, and they want to try and demean and hurt us, all of us. You know, they're not indicting me, they're indicting you. I just happen to be standing in their way. That's all it is. But what you're witnessing, thank you. What you're witnessing is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. This is prosecutorial misconduct, and its primary purpose is to steal another election. They're all in a very coordinated attack trying to take away our election of 2024. They rigged the presidential election of 2020. We're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it actually a great badge of honor. I do. It's a great badge of honor because I'm being indicted for you. She's saying, that's good, thank you, I appreciate it. And I believe the you is more than 200 million people that love our country. I believe that. It's 200 million people. And never forget that our enemies want to stop me because I am the only one who's going to be able to stop them. These characters that you're watching up there, they're not stopping anybody. And you know what? They'll be hit. The first day in office, they'll make up a witch hunt about them. It's not going to be sanctimonious, he said it, but, you know, take any one of them. They'll say, did you know this and that? They'll give it to the fake news, like the report, the dossier, the fake dossier. Remember the fake dossier? It was all fake. Sir, do you know anything about Russia? I remember when people would come up to me, sir, may I ask you a question? Yeah. Do you know anything about Russia? No, not really. What's wrong with Russia? What's going on? This is during the campaign, previous to winning, 2015 even. Sir, do you know anything about Russia? Like after about 6 guys said that, I said, what the hell is going on with Russia? They set out, Mike, a fake story about Russia. They checked phone calls, millions of phone calls that I made none to Russia. They went through a whole thing. After 2.5 years, they had 18 radical, think of it, they had 18 radical Democrats. They found no collusion. Took 2.5 years. They spent $50 million. Now they're going through, they've spent $28 million on me on the boxes hoax. And Biden has about 20 times more boxes than me. They spent almost no money on him. It's a weaponized system, and it's a two-tier system of injustice. If these corrupt persecutions of our people succeed, they will complete their takeover of this country and destroy your way of life forever. And you know what? Once that happens, this country is going to be in turmoil. There's really no coming back. We have one chance to save it, and that chance is called 2024. It's the one chance we have. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. I will not let that happen. I could have been home right now. I could have been playing golf. I actually hit the ball quite well. Very long. You know, if they gave you a test based on distance and things, they should do it, because, Joe, I don't think you could reach. See those seats right over there? I think a long drive would be that gentleman with the Make America Great Again shirt on for Joe. No, I could be home. I could be doing other things. I said, what are we doing today? Sir, you're going to Erie, Pennsylvania. You're going to make a speech. I said, oh. But actually, I love it. Actually, I love it. I love it. I do love it. And I love you, and I love the people, because you've been so... Clinton famously said, why the hell didn't they do that for me? Why didn't they do that for me? She's a very angry woman. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. That's what it's all about. And it's no wonder the swamp is getting truly desperate as they see us leading in these polls. So I have some of them with me. I just happen to have it. Just happened. In the most recent, very respected Rasmussen poll, we're leading DeSanctimonious by 44 points. 44 points. That's all right. We're leading them by 44 points, 57-13. Mike Pence is at 5. Well, no. Sad. It's sad. And I don't like to see the way he's being treated, but Mike is at 5. But everyone's lower than that. I mean, other people are at 1 and 2 and 0. Sir, will you debate? Will you debate? You know, they're all asking me that question. Sir, will you stand up there against a hostile network? Fox. Will you stand up there against a hostile network? Remember the question I was asked by Megyn Kelly a long time ago? By the way, she's gotten religion. She's gotten religion. And stand up, listen, with like 10 or 12 guys that have 0, 1, 2, 3. I may have 75, 78, 79. And I'm going to listen to some guy like Ada Hutchinson. I call him Ada because he's boring. I don't know why he hates me. You know, I won Arkansas by a landslide. How the hell did that guy ever become governor of Arkansas? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But am I going to stand up there by guys with 0, 1, 2, 3%, maybe 4, and have them ask me hostile questions? And if I don't go to the debate, they say, I'm not saying this, but they say that the ratings are going to be very bad. So if I agree to do the debates, I get hit by a hostile network, but I also get hit by all these guys. And they are professional politicians. I mean, they're not stupid people. They just happen to be at 0. And they say, what about this, President Trump? What about this? And I look at the guy and say, you're at 0. You're asking me these questions. But, you know, you want to have a smart president. And I think if you see me up there, even if I do well, I like the debates. I think I probably maybe won the presidency because of the debates. But at a certain point, you say, why are we doing these things? Why are we doing these things? So we'll see what happens. I haven't made a commitment one way or the other. Should I do them or not? Hold it. No, wait a minute. Wait. Now take your entertainment cap, because for entertainment, everyone's going to say, do them. But now put on your political cap, right? We have to save our country. We have to win. Should I get up there with 10 or 12 hostile people and a hostile network and be abused with terrible questions? Okay, are you ready? So I'll go, should we do the debate or should we do the debate? Should we not do the debate? You people just want entertainment. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, Mike? They're saying no. They're saying no. Fred, no? In the most recent Harvard-Harris poll, we're up by 40 points over DeSanctimonious he's all the way down to 12. Remember?